Hi, and welcome to my first episode of my first ever vlog about my preparation for my first ever competitive season in bodybuilding. So, starting from this September the 9th, I'm entering the competitive field of bodybuilding. I'm going for IFBB Elite Pro Federation, and it's going to be my first ever experience, shaping my body to that level and taking it to the stage alongside other athletes. And this vlog is going to talk about my journey to that level. It's going to talk about my nutrition, my emotion state, about my training, about my posing, and everything else that is related to my journey to be able to come out on a stage and win the all the titles and all the gold that I envision. So a little bit of backstory for those who don't know me. I've been doing some pole dancing and yoga for quite a lot of years before entering the bodybuilding phase. And for about a year ago, I started like actively hitting the gym on a daily basis because I just wanted to have better ass. I always had like really, really flat ass. Like it's always been like, flat wall. And I really wanted to add some curvature to my body. And then it just started, like the the game just never ends. And people were asking me like, why are you going to the gym? Like, are you preparing for something? Like, what is your purpose? What is your goal? And I would always respond, my goal is to look good. But then somebody asked me if I'm like competing, and I just said yes. And I was like, oh, but I don't. Like, why did I say yes? And after that, I was like, all right, well, I should try myself and put myself on a stage. So I was planning to do that next year. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not that far. I'm not that far from, hitting that initial, stairs. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it this year. I'm just gonna prepare and get myself ready for the autumn. So here we are. Yeah, so in this vlog, I'm gonna talk about all these things that happen to me on a bi-weekly basis. I'm gonna be releasing new episodes every 2 weeks. So every 4th and 21st of every month, I'm gonna reflect on what happened to me in the previous 2 weeks of my preparation. Another important thing to mention is that I'm vegan. So the nutrition that I'm going to show and talk about is appropriate for myself and only. Even if you're vegan, it may not be appropriate for you based on your body needs. So don't take any of what I show and share as a guidance or advice. Treat this content just as the story that happened to somebody, but not as a manual to apply to your own life. Just a small disclaimer. So let's get started. Let's look into my past 2 weeks, where I've been in all four main pillars. Well, actually five, because the fifth element is going to be like overall general relevant information. So the first thing that I want to talk about is my training. So the training for the past 2 weeks has been difficult, but difficult in a good way. So I started a new split about a month and a half ago. And prior to this new split, I used to like work out every single day. I used to go to the gym Monday to Saturday and then rest on Sunday. And I structured my entire life around that split. And then I changed it because I got a new coach who is like advising me, and prior to that, I've been training on my own. And she basically is trying to make me rest more. So the plan now that I'm supposed to stick to, and I'm really doing my best. I'm really doing my best. But the thing is, like, I'm struggling to rest. I'm like super hyperactive, and it's all in my head. If I didn't go to the gym, I feel like I feel weird. I feel strange. So it's like it's a mental thing for me to exercise as well as everything else. But so currently I'm supposed to do my glutes, my back, rest, then my hams, my shoulders, rest, my quads, combined shoulders and back, rest. So in total, I have like 9 days that are repeating itself instead of seven. So I would never have like, one set day for rest every week. And it's changing, how I operate on my daily basis as well, because before I had a very clear definition, like, I have weekdays, I have weekends, and what happens during those days. Now it doesn't work anymore. Now it's like, a lower upper day and a rest day. So I have to like balance my life around this new split. But the hardest thing is actually being able to rest. And I've been trying to like, secretly, drop in some like random workouts during the rest days. And, it's been kind of working out for me. But then, I was like, I should take the advice seriously, because, if I'm getting this advice from a professional, it may mean something. So I am no longer, trying to like do some random exercises and workouts on the rest days. Instead, I'm trying to just be a little bit more active on my rest days, like do more stretching, go for longer walks, just so I burn some energy on those days. But the other thing about my training is that in the past 2 weeks, so I managed to do two of each of my muscle groups during this time. And I actually increased my weight that I use quite a lot. I feel like I had increase in weight on every single muscle group. And like last week when I did my hams and then I did my shoulders, I actually really overdid it. I really overdid with the way that like I literally could not move on the rest day after my shoulders. I had a masseuse scheduled for like Thursday, but I had to call her in on Monday because everything was hurting so bad. Like I couldn't like go out of my house. Like that's how bad it was. And I also injured my shoulder. Like I really took like heavier load than I should have. And I did like 10 sets of shoulder press. And in the end, I just like, I felt something here. And then the pain just, it wouldn't leave me for like, I don't know, 3 days really. And today I also had my shoulder day and I still feel like, a little bit of pain. So I was trying to be more careful with myself and yesterday as well, because I have this crazy passion and I want to like grab all the weights around me, but then you know getting myself to that happy place on one day would then take the opportunity of doing something on in the coming days after. So it's a lesson. Take it slower, take it easier. Listen more to the body. That's what I'm telling to myself, because it's just not worth it. Like it's not worth like damaging my shoulder and then not being able to train for like a few weeks. Whether I could just like still use the old weight and then just gradually increase it more and more and more. I'm just really excited about the whole idea of progressive overload, and I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm gonna go all the way in. If I have to take my rest days, I'd rather, exhaust myself to the point where I like really need that rest day. I think that's the only way how I can commit to the idea of resting. So there is still a bit of like mental fighting that happens with the resting, but I do feel I'm managing it like way better than before. I also attempted to like throw in human flag practice. It's been something that I really wanted to learn for some time, and my intention was to like practice it on my rest days. But then after I damaged my shoulder, I don't think it's a good thing to do. So again, taking it easy. Um, my flexibility though really plateaued, and it's due to the fact that I just don't like stretch enough. And it's just bizarre because I am a flexibility coach. That's like one of the businesses that I run, and not doing it myself, I just don't feel like I have an excuse to not be flexible. If I am teaching that skill to people. I am flexible though, but I do feel like my flexibility development is not moving anywhere because I just don't do enough. And so for now, like at least what I want to do is to focus more on my flexibility on my rest days. So that way I don't lose the skill that I had before, but also I allow my muscles to actually rest from like being overloaded after weight training. So that's on the training part. Let's talk about posing. So it's been challenging. Let's put it this way. I feel like the hardest part for me in posing is actually stage walk, because you have to walk from your hip and you have to walk in a straight line and you have to curve and twist your body and keep your shoulders open and wide and have the ass also rounded. It's just like so many things that are happening during that walk. And we never walk like that. When you see like female on the high heels, we never walk like we walk on a stage. And it's just like so different and so hard. And I still feel really awkward when I'm just like, practicing the walk part. The posing, I feel, is improving. I'm learning how to, put my hand on my wrist without like dropping and losing my shoulders. So right now I'm seated. I don't know if it's gonna work, but like I lost one of my lights. I hope it's not too dark on my face. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm not gonna change the lighting now, but right now my left shoulder hurts, but I decided that my left hand will be the one that's gonna go on the waist. I've been told that eventually, I may choose different hands when I get on a stage. Quite often it happens that like just before the stage, girls have to change the hand based on what looks more appropriate and like good. But it's been difficult because every time my shoulder would collapse forward and my lats would close. So it's something that I'm still learning, but it's getting better. And I'm improving my side position as well. Yeah, and in this embarrassing video that I'm about to show you, you will see, the progress that I had from like 2 weeks ago to now. I know my face looks like a fucking serial killer. And yeah, there's a lot of things to be improved in both of the videos, but that's the whole point, of sharing everything raw, how it is right now here, so then I can look back and be like, yeah, girl, you improved. You evolved so much from where you were. Anyway, so we'll see where I get to in the 2 weeks from now with my posing. Hopefully it's gonna get way better. And I haven't been practicing the stage walk, to be honest. My intention was to also do more of the walking on my rest days, but honestly speaking, in the past 2 weeks, I haven't done any stage walk practice at all. So I really need to get on top of that. Okay, my nutrition. So food-wise, like I'm doing all right. I had my cheat meal on the 3rd of June. I'm super, super happy about the cheat meal. It was vegan pizza, super, super delicious. And then I also had a cake. And I couldn't decide which cake I wanted, so I had a half and half of each. Both vegan, and I mean, the cakes and the pizza, I mean, everything that I eat is vegan, right? But I had a really, really, really good time eating them. And actually, I'm supposed to have like a cheat meal every week, but because I'm being like really, really strict and anal about my nutrition, and if I do like 3 fuck ups, I'm not allowed to have my cheat meal. So last week I skipped my cheat meal because I've been overeating nuts after 5, and I've been eating like too many fruits after 5, and I just felt like I didn't deserve a cheat meal. So hopefully this week on my leg day, which would be Sunday, would be my second leg day, no, third leg day this week. I hopefully will be able to allow myself a cheat meal, which is going to be vegan pancake, and I'm super, super happy about it. So in terms of my regular nutrition, I'm not really counting calories so much. I'm more focused on counting my macros. So I am, my target is 120 grams of protein per day, 70 grams of fats per day, and 350 grams of carbs per day. And actually, it sounds like a lot, like it's a lot of carbs actually. And I'm not like eating sometimes, all of the carbs because it's just hard. And what is hard for me is not eating after like 7, because what happens is that I eat a lot in the evening and I wake up fat. Like I wake up with the belly, I wake up bloated, I have all this undigested food. And that was stressing me out because I used to have like perfect 6-pack before I started the bulk. And I knew that I'm gonna get layer of fat during the bulk, and it's just part of the process that I have to accept, and just be willing to love myself the way I am, because in the end it's gonna be worth it. But I'm still struggling with that, and After every dinner, I want to have a dessert. It's just something that I used to like do a lot in my past. So I can't just go to sleep, without like sweet flavor in my mouth. So, and I'm trying to figure out what to do about it because I'm not allowed to eat fruits after 5 p.m. And obviously, I'm not allowed to have any like artificial sugar. So it's something that, I'm constantly fighting with and figuring out the ways, how can I make myself happy? Because like I love what I eat, and like I eat a lot of like very diverse food. I eat a lot of mushrooms. I eat tofu. I eat buckwheat. I eat lentils. I eat loads of different cabbages. I eat fruits, just like in limited amounts and before 5 p.m. So I have like very very diverse library of ingredients that I can consume. It's just the rules when and what quantities, that's what is making it a little bit more challenging than usually. But so far it's been good. So far, I really don't complain. The only complaint that I have is the feeling of being fat. But now I'm doing this experiment, so I'm not gonna eat after 7 p.m. And today is my second day when I'm not eating after 7 p.m. I did feel better today in the morning, about having slightly flatter stomach. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I'll be able to keep it up for the next 2 weeks. No food after 7, and yeah, I'll be able to share with you more of insights into how it felt, and if I was able to stick to that. But I better be, because for now it's like it's not a hard thing to do, just not eat after 7, because when I'm gonna enter my cat, I'm gonna have way way more limitations about my nutrition. So it's a good thing to start practicing, not eating after 7 now. So that's the nutrition part. Um, my emotional state. So my emotional state, I kind of already touched based. It's the bulking part that, seeing myself fatter than I am. It's I think like it wasn't really bothering me until yesterday actually. I it's also coming to the end of my cycle, and girls would understand that, where we are getting that part of our phase, we always feel and see ourselves not the way we actually are. We're trying to find different faults in ourselves. We're thinking we are fat, we're ugly, we're whatever. It's a part of us. It's the hormones speaking. And few days ago my weight was 64 kilograms, and when I saw that number I was like freaking this shit out, because it's just a lot. It's a lot of weight, and I should have been happy, right? Because like it means my muscles grow. Like I'm getting good lean mass, but I'm also getting a bit of fat. So it's like trying to like talk to myself and explain to myself that the gains that I'm seeing are actually a lean muscle. They're not the fat. And even though there is a bit of fat, it's very temporarily, and I understand and I know it. But because I'm doing it for the first time, and the first time I'm deliberately increasing my weight, it's just a new experience. It's different to how I would usually approach the numbers that I'm seeing on the scale. Um, so yeah, it's interesting. um, yeah, like otherwise, I feel emotionally all right. I don't feel like anything is going off the track. So for now, I think I'm good. I just need to trust the process, trust the bulk, because I don't really have a reason to stress out, because I'm eating like super clean food. I only do the cheat meal once in a while, and not even every week, because I just said I'm being very strict on myself. So yeah, whatever I gain in terms of fat, it should be really easy to lose once I start the cut, because the main thing is that my waist is actually 1 centimeter smaller than it used to be when I started uh, the bulk. So actually, I lost 1 centimeter in my waist, which is something that I'm not even seeing for some reason. Anyway, let's move on. And that was actually the last chapter of this vlog. The last thing is the anything else, anything extra if I want to add, and I guess the other thing that I want to add to the reflection of the past 2 weeks was my choice of competitions. My plan was to do 5 competitions here in Mexico. So the municipal, which is on the 9th of September, then the state, regional, national, and then the other international here in Mexico, and after that go to Colombia and do another international there. But I spoke to my coach, and she said that 6 competitions for a season is a lot, especially that they're all being spread between like within 3 months. So the first starts in the beginning of September, and the last one is like second week of December. So I would have to stay in the same shape and maintain it for like 3 months, and that's actually a lot. So I should probably narrow down my selection, but my main goal for this season is to get my pro card, because after I get my pro card here in Mexico, I can then go out wild and compete in any competition, in any part of the world. So that is my goal pretty much. And when whatever will give me that, that's what I will do basically. So I still want to do a few small amateur competitions before I go out on the national one and compete for my pro card, just so I can get understanding of what the whole thing is like. And actually, this Sunday, I'm gonna go to some competition here in Playa del Carmen, where I live, just to watch, just to be a viewer and visitor, and just understand the process and the flow of how they do them here locally on the ground. So then, whenever I come out in September, I'm like, bang, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly, how I'm gonna approach it, and just come out like a queen. Get my crown, get all my trophies, get my pro cards, and yeah, and join the international league, and eventually, fight for my title of the Miss Universe. Why the hell not? Everything starts somewhere, and I feel like I'm on a good start. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So the next one will come out in 2 weeks from now, on the 4th of July. In the meantime, make sure to click subscribe and hit the like button. And I see you soon. Have a good week.